With cases rising, the debate intensifies over how to handle the start of the school year here in Indiana. Today, we'll talk with Governor Eric Holcomb, Senators Todd Young and Mike Braun, and ISTA President Keith Gamble. Plus, what one Indiana congressman is doing after unknowingly getting the virus months ago. It's all ahead this Sunday in Focus.
Exploring the issues that matter most in Indiana. This is In Focus with Dan Spieler.
Thank you for joining us this Sunday. I'm Birshal May in for Dan Spieler. Indiana remains in stage 4.5 this weekend as Governor Eric Holcomb presses pause on our reopening. State health officials say the numbers are trending in the wrong direction right now. The 7-day rolling average of positive tests hit 6.9 this week. That number was 4.2 back in June. COVID-19 hospitalizations also up, but Health Commissioner Dr. Christina Bach says the state is not going back to previous stages because ICU beds and ventilator capacity remain steady. So what does this mean for our economy and our schools? Those are the issues we are tackling today. As the coronavirus crisis grows, shattering records in some states, lawmakers are discussing once again how to provide financial relief for Americans. Indiana Senator Todd Young is promoting his proposed Restart Act. And this week, Senator Young visited several restaurants and music venues like the Slippery Noodle out in downtown Indy. He explained his bill would help businesses that are still struggling because of this pandemic.
The hallmark of this legislation is it gives our hardest hit businesses access to much needed capital during this difficult period until we are able to find some sort of cure to this wicked coronavirus. In the meantime, that money can be used to keep people on the payroll. It can be used to pay for basic operating expenses like rent and mortgage and utilities. And most importantly, it can be used to sustain the pillars of our local community, like these restaurants, like sports venues, like small boutiques. And we want to make sure that as we emerge from this pandemic, we're prepared not only to grow the economy, but also make sure that we maintain our culture and history and that our entrepreneurs can continue to grow their businesses. We've all come together, and I know it's been a difficult time, to say the least, for so many Hoosiers and other Americans, but I just have confidence in the people of Indiana and the American people.
His bill has been introduced in the House, and it picked up 10 co-sponsors from both parties in the Senate. Meanwhile, school districts across the state are trying to figure out how to safely bring students back to the classroom, and some schools have decided it's too early to do so. This week, Washington Township in Indianapolis announced it will start the school year with online classes only, citing a rise in COVID-19 cases in the state. Warren Township paused its start date from July 29th to August 6th, and Lawrence Township will now start on August 3rd. Meanwhile, Carmel High School will take a hybrid approach, mixing in-person and virtual learning. This week, Indiana Superintendent of Public Instruction, Dr. Jennifer McCormick, acknowledged that many districts are struggling to figure out who should have that final say. She told reporters this.
For decisions that are made about, are we going to be on-site or remote, or is it going to be a hybrid? What does that look like for what period of time? That all is really a local decision with your local schools, but there's a ton of input from your health department. So we rely heavily on very strong, competent health departments at that local level. This is a medical issue. We are educators. We can do the education part, but we need a lot of help with the medical piece.
Earlier this week, our partner station in Evansville sat down with Senator Mike Braun and discussed this very issue.
When it comes to reopening schools, elementary and post-secondary, I'm disappointed if we don't try to do it. I think parents generally know their kids are educated best there. In cases where parents just don't feel safe having their kids in school, they've had practice on what it takes to educate at home. But generally speaking, it's just like reopening businesses. Do a couple things at once, pay attention to the rules, don't hunker down to where you don't try to move forward.
As school districts weigh major decisions right now, some educators have critiqued the Holcomb administration, even going as far as to ask for some more guidance when it comes to requiring masks in classrooms. Our Kelly Sullivan spoke to the governor about what he is considering for schools this fall.
Well, Governor Eric Holcomb says he does not support a statewide mask mandate. He wants to leave that up to local governments, but he is still considering it in schools. Governor Eric Holcomb says he may support a requirement based on the age of the classroom. The Indiana State Teachers Association says it would like to see grades 6 through 12 wear masks. Kindergarten through 5th grade still need consideration since some of the day would be spent teaching them about the masks and getting used to them. Holcomb says this is going to be a very well thought out decision.
There's a lot of different opinions on this front as well, even in the medical community. And so we're factoring in all those considerations, including different age groups.
Traditionally, schools get funds based on student enrollment. Some are now asking the governor to freeze last year's enrollment numbers so schools don't lose money if students drop out due to safety concerns. I asked him what it would take for him to do that.
Well, I want to see what the numbers look like come fall when students are back, when parents are making the determination. So we'll know a lot more in a month and 2 months and 3 months how schools are not just staffed, but how schools are populated.
Governor Holcomb says there's no deadline for his decisions, but he says he will announce them so that schools have enough time to safely prepare. For In Focus, I'm Kayla Sullivan.
Kayla, thank you. Well, we are also this week hearing from the head of the largest teachers union in Indiana about those safety concerns for students and staff. In Focus host Dan Spieler spoke with the ISTA president Keith Gamble about the growing political debate surrounding the start of the school year.
You met with Governor Holcomb this week. What can you tell us about that conversation and what you're hoping for in terms of state policy for this coming school year?
Well, thank you very much for having me and allowing us some time to talk about these important issues. We did express to the governor the anxiety that our school staff are feeling right now, as well as parents and families of students. And a great deal of that anxiety is wrapped around a lack of clear guidance, both from the state and from oftentimes our local school districts. And one of the items that we talked with the governor about was the need for clear guidance from the state, because Indiana looks very different when you look at COVID-19. We have some areas where the outbreak is quite large, and other places that have really maybe because they're not quite so densely populated haven't felt the effects in the same way. And so instead of a blanket decision for the state, if we can have guidance about what is right for areas as they see what's happening with COVID, in order to give the best sense of, is it safe now for students to return in person? Is it safe for faculty to be in the buildings? So that was one of the items that we addressed with the governor. A second item, it is our position that in grades 6 through 12, masks should be mandated. They should be mandated for all adults and staff that are in the building. But we wanted to give some consideration to the kindergarten through 5th grade, in knowing that part of the job during the day will be teaching those kiddos, especially that the kindergarten for 2nd grade, especially just how to wear them and giving them a chance to get used to that. So we recognize that there should be some flexibility.
The governor saying this week he may even consider the mask mandate for schools as they continue to evaluate the process. Washington Township Schools announced this week they would be going virtual only at the start of the school year. Will we be seeing more of that from other districts? And is that a move your organization would like to see more of?
Well, we certainly support the decision of Washington Township. And when you look at Marion County and the donut, that's one of the epicenters in the state. And so making sure that those facilities are safe, but in some of our urban areas, we have students who their only way to get to school is on a city bus. And is that the safest way for them to get to school during a pandemic? And so certainly if they cannot guarantee that safety, then moving to a virtual should be the way that the school district goes.
The White House called out teachers' unions last week specifically and said the president will, quote, always stand up to teachers' unions that want to keep schools closed, in their words. What's your response to that, and also to calls from some lawmakers like Indiana's Jim Banks who are calling for schools to lose funding if they don't reopen?
Well, first I would say that if a school is open for virtual, the school is open. And I want to be very clear about that, because we're talking about closing a building in order to save the lives of students and staff. So I'm not buying into the rhetoric of virtual means closed. You know, Indiana has given money hand over fist and has lost money in schemes that were supposed to be virtual schools. So this idea that the school isn't open when they are providing virtual learning simply is not true. So I would assert that the school is open. It's just that the learning at this time has to take place differently.
Keith Gamble with the Indiana State Teachers Association. Thank you so much for being with us. We appreciate it.
Thank you very much. Happy to be here.
Coming up next here this Sunday in Focus, our panelists tackling the issues facing our schools in our roundtable, plus a look ahead at November, how the Indiana races are shaping up, and an Indiana congressman finds out he once had the coronavirus. What Representative Trey Hollingsworth is doing now that he knows he has COVID antibodies.